a scion of many worlds. He checks his communicator again and sighs. He's run out the clock. The world won't be completely calm before the Undaunted get there. It was a fun goal to set himself, but an entire continent in a calm and receptive state is nothing to sneer at. Hell, the expanse of land is so large that most people on Lacran's tech level would struggle to cross the continent in the amount of time he's had, let alone gain massive political influence over it. "Hey, can I interest you in pirate hunting, Magrica?" Jasper asks the Metak as he comes upon her chamber. She had the hide of the creature she fought in the arena and was stretching and putting it under some strange axiom process with her wings to effectively tan it in an instant. "Oh, that does sound fun. When do we leave?" "Soon enough. We're tracking down a ship called the Broken Soul, which has evaded the best efforts of half the city-states," Jasper states, and she nods even as she folds up the huge hide and then hops on top to consider. If they've got some skilled Erumenta in the group, there's no telling what they can do. I'm in, but talk to Terry. I think she might know something." "Know what?" "Well, what better place to hide a ship than someplace no ship should ever be? With a really skilled Earth Erumenta, you could sail a ship on land no problem." Magrica reasons. "Yes, and with a group of water Erumenta, you can get a wooden submarine out of things. Air Erumenta means it's a blimp, and a darkness Erumenta means it can go through solid matter entirely." He notes. "Figure something out?" Magrica asks cheekily. "I think so. But you're right. Terry is the smart bet on who else to bring. A small team that can move fast is the best way to do this. Aure can keep up or even set the pace. Clarity has a good tactical mind, and the Six should work well too. Their teamwork is getting impressive, and they're definitely eager to prove themselves. Not to mention having some water power when on the water is just smart." Magrica agrees. "But yay, I'm in. I'm in to get as much fun and fortune as I can before needing to tent down and raise some ankle biters." "You know, things are going to change really soon," Jasper notes, glancing at his communicator. There's a countdown. Any updates from the oncoming ships, and the timer alters to show how long until they arrive. It was now counting in the hundreds of hours, just barely under 6 days. "I believe you, but even if the coming of your Undaunted brings in some shining paradise where we drink more wine than water, it's important to remember the old ways and do things as were done in the past. They exist for a reason. They have something to teach us. Even if I can raise my kids in some golden palace, I'll still want to take them out to the mountains to sleep in tents, at least for a little while." "I understand. A sterile life isn't the best, even when it's a product of love and good intentions," Jasper replies, even as his mind travels back to the childhood of Emmanuel. It wasn't abusive by any stretch of the imagination, far from it. But compared to Horace's childhood, it was lonely and lacking in play and all the little mistakes a child makes. Not that Emmanuel hadn't been stimulated, but a childhood calculated to ensure that the child would come out as intelligent and capable as possible is lacking in vital components. "Lacran to the moth! Lacran to the moth! Are you there?" Magrica calls up at him with a wing waving in his face. "I'm back! I'm back! I'm glad that doesn't happen in a fight. You thinking types get lost in your own heads way too much," Magrica says in a concerned tone. "Well, unlike you, when we try to figure out a problem, we don't have to sit and brood on something. Hey, a proper think needs a jug of wine, a solid place to sit, and a fist on your chin as you do battle with the mental foe," Magrica remarks, and Jasper snorts. "Metak think gut on stone." He teases and doesn't bother to dodge the smack from her wing. "Goofy moth, gather the others. I'll be done here in minutes at most," she says, and he gives her a small bow before leaving the room. How can something so big be so cheeky? It takes all of 5 minutes to find Terry, who's currently trading barbs with Lady Clarity. The arguments were happening between rifle shots. Terry had taken more and more to the concept of high-end military weapons. The woman was very much a warrior through and through. Look, all I'm saying is that making the act of murder too easy will destroy warriors as a whole. If any fool can simply grab a powerful weapon and shatter even the most well-trained warriors, Lady Clarity states, and Terry just gives her an annoyed look. Actually, on Earth, where guns are very prevalent, many civilians are outright terrified of guns. The ease of dealing death and the sheer sound they make terrify the meeker, Jasper says. Oh? That seems odd, Lady Clarity notes as Terry scoffs at the idea. Civilians don't like killing, and a thing that's really good at killing and made only to kill isn't good for much else. Jasper explains. It still seems dangerous. Cannons are very lethal but need proper positioning. Rifles and guns, on the other hand, need a skilled hand or you'll straight up miss, revealing your position and showing that you have clear hostile intent. An arrow missing in the night could be mistaken for a burst of wind or a strange sound. Even the arrow shattering against stone or sinking into a tree could be mistaken for another sound. There is no mistaking a gunshot, Jasper explains. Although, speaking of battle and violence, I have something for us to do. Something I'd like both of you to be part of. Oh? Lady Clarity asks. Who are we fighting? Terry chimes up with an eager grin. Pirates. There's a ship called the Broken Soul that's terrorizing the city-states. We show up and smash them, and the states will owe a favor. The strange thing, though, is that the ship has been hitting its targets a little too well and vanishing a little too easily. So I need a small team that can move fast. You two, me, Magrica, Lady Aure, and the first 6, and we'll have the numbers to easily crush a bottleneck and enough differing skills to show up whatever tricks they're trying to pull, Jasper explains, and Terry thinks. Interesting. I mean, a wooden ship is pretty fragile if I can get it in sight. Haven't heard of the Broken Soul, though. I have, but that was when I was a child, Lady Clarity states. It must just be named after the older Broken Soul. The idea of a ship of pirates being active for more than 20 years is absurd. On sea, yes, but in the stars, pirates can last centuries, Jasper says, and Lady Clarity just stares for a few moments. The more you tell us about the galaxy at large, the weirder it sounds. What you think all worlds and peoples are alike, that's not even true on Lacran, Jasper points out, and she sighs. Unless you think that the average Earthani and Metak are similar to each other. No, most Earthani and Metak are nothing alike, Lady Clarity replies, and he nods. So, are you in? Jasper asks. Oh yes. You beat us in battle, Lord Blue. You conquered our home nation. We are yours to command, Lady Clarity says. The August Order and my own nationality say I follow you into battle without hesitation. Terry? Jasper asks. I'm a loyal soldier of the Miru army. You rule Miru, so I'm going. Terry responds, and Jasper grins. Good, I'll gather the others and I'll set up a portal so we can move quickly to the area. Which area specifically, my lord? Lady Clarity asks. She's speaking more formally, as if she reminded herself that he's her king and lord. Here, Jasper answers, pulling out the maps and levitating it between them. I intend to put the portal here. Isle Lone has a wonderful place to build a port. We set the doorway to go there, and we have access to most major trade routes and can transfer a lot of goods from cart to ship in a hurry and speed up trade with the city-states enormously. Not exactly what I was asking. This is where we come out, but I'm leaving the doorway up because it's going to be a useful thing into the future. My plans for this world include a massive ease of travel, and this is going to be part of it. Of course, much of this will be made redundant by shuttles and airbuses, but it's always good to have a backup system in case something goes wrong, Jasper continues. So, it's a central place where we can hit the area quickly, and also a place where another port can be built to facilitate trade. Do you always have to do things like this? Well, no, but I've gotten into the habit of doing things that accomplish many goals at once. It keeps the workload down, Jasper says with a bit of a shrug. After all, his offering to help out bandits early on had not only diffused a bad situation but had gotten him a loyal army. A little more work in the short term to ensure that there would be far less in the long term. Well, my lord, just call for us when you need us. We will be ready, Lady Clarity says, and Jasper nods. Yay, I'll see if my newest toy is ready by then. Terry notes with a big smile. Why does that actually scare me a little? Jasper asks. And Terry's smile goes from purposeful, friendly looking and with her eyes nearly but not quite closed, to honest amusement, absolutely psychotic smirk that makes her look like she wants to stab you. Because you know what I've been working on. She answers and damn near skips off. I'm not sure how many will be left alive if she gets to have her way. Lady Clarity notes. No one. At least no one opposed to us. She's a thorough woman. Jasper notes calmly as he remembers what it's like to spar with the woman. It's like trying to fist fight a minefield. All right, I'll be getting the others now. Make what preparations you believe appropriate, Jasper orders. At once what's the term again? My king. Yes, Jasper acknowledges. It's going to be interesting to unsnarl this political affair when all is said and done. But for now, there is a sensible and practical path to follow. His wings pump and he launches upwards. He knows who the tiny figure in the sky is. Lady Aure likes to clear her head just below the cirrus cloud line. Just a tiny dot that can be easily missed. It's not high enough to see the curvature of the world, but it's more than enough to get a feel for just how utterly gigantic the world is. As he rises up, his gaze turns south, and ever slightly so on the horizon, he can see a vast sea of green. Deep within it is a tower, the first place from which he awoke on Lacron. There is a sense of both deep longing and slight awe at the distances he's personally traveled and the things he's done in so short a time. As Horus, he could scarcely comprehend such things, but understood it as a nearly impossible feat. As Emmanuel, he was gobsmacked at the sheer speed and audacity he moved at. But he was no longer merely Horus or Emmanuel. He was Jasper Emmanuel. He was more than his components, as all proper combinations are. He pumps more axiom into his wings as he rises up to join Lady Aure as she looks over the world. I take it that something has come up, Sir Blue, she asks. There is a call for aid from the city-states. They are being attacked often, and their own squabbles and disunity prevents a proper response. So they have come to me for aid. He answers, and she lets out a pensive sound. The cold air around them is empty of all sound as they simply hold themselves in the sky. Their wings unmoving, as axiom control alone suffices to keep them airborne. How many hours remain? She asks. 143, some more minutes as well. He answers, and her gaze turns to the forest in the distance. Not even a pair of months. Not 2 months, and this world has been all but rendered unrecognizable. Bright Dawn is restructuring itself. Miru is conquered. Greenstone is speaking about rejoining Miru, and the Goldlands are content for the first time in generations. The breakaway empire is too busy with its new toys to try to provoke the Serpent Empress, and now the city-states are openly asking for outside intervention, Lady Aure says before sighing. And to think, I thought you looked utterly harmless and even helpless when you were within the crystal sarcophagus. Appearances are deceiving and assumptions lead people astray, Jasper notes. Yes, even now, Lady Aure says, looking at him directly with all 4 eyes. Still, you mentioned some form of attack on the city-states. I am of the Grand Midwives. I will not allow that to pass. Whom is making pointless war? Pirates, actually, the Broken Soul Pirates. Oh, them, there may be a complication there. I'm listening.